Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I've made an actual real video. A lot of time has passed, a lot of stuff has just been moving forward. So I thought I'd make just a fun little video about some stuff that I got. So I did make a video on the Quest 3 unboxing, but I didn't make a video on something I got that I think a lot of people who follow my channel know that I actually, got. Here it is. The motherfucking Steam Deck. Now, my honest thoughts about it is that it's better than the Switch in a lot of ways, but the main advantage is you get your Steam library. You could be on your computer. You could be like, oh, well, I want to put this game on the go. You don't have to double dip. And of course, there's games like the Fallout games and other games like that you just don't get on the Switch for whatever reason. Bethesda or EA or whoever owns important games of the PC Steam libraries that you would have get a point like The Last of Us, you wouldn't get that on the Switch, or Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, you wouldn't get that on the Switch, or Horizon Zero Dawn, or literally just name any game that's multi-platform that was made to run on just a PC or a laptop or something. But yeah, it's just one of those devices that it does a lot of things right, very quickly and very conveniently and very cheaply too. Not to mention it's very solid and heavy built. I got a case for it. It comes right off. This is kind of like a flexi case with it. Not to mention it's just so solid, so solid. And even without the case, it is very solid. Let's take it off. I didn't get a skin for it. I've actually been saving up for a Steam Deck OLED. I actually want to do a comparison video, but I don't really. I've never been I like using tech. I just don't like covering it and making videos about it. I don't know. Cool device, very cool device. But yeah, solid piece of tech. You get your hands on this bitch, and it didn't even really matter what size because, of course, SD card. So I really think that's a good reason why I think PC handhelds will continue to go well. Is because companies that care about the people and the consumers that continuously use their devices are going to continuously make devices in which you can expand their storage, expand their of course headphone jack and USB-C, volume rocker, 2 separate buttons so they don't just crack and cause a water leak. And I don't know, of course you always have the vent on the top, so you're always going to risk getting animal hair and stuff like that in the fan. But that's a given with any device that does any amount of gaming, unless you count the iPhone 15. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I fucking I don't know. I for one think the Steam Deck is possibly one of the best gaming devices that you could get right now, just hands down, especially at the price that it's at. LCD model is completely worth it. The screen is great. I mean, there is absolutely nothing wrong with not wanting a PC handheld, because I understand some people are like, my library's on the Switch, or my library's on PlayStation, or my library's on Xbox. You use your Xbox, use your phone, use your whatever you're comfortable with. I mean, honestly, it's just a preference. But I mean, if you had to pick, if you were already on PC and you had to pick, being do I get a Switch? Do I get a do I get a Steam Deck? And the question is, the answer is yes. You totally should, if you are considering being on the go, or hell, even just wanting to lay in your bed and play something emulate Switch games, or hell, Fallout games. All of them work pretty much, even up to 76. So it's definitely like completely worth it if you think like I'm gonna play these oddly specific games. Some multiplayer games do not work. Like I know Apex Legends didn't work, and now it does. Fortnite, I think you can get it working using dual booting because you can dual boot OSs on it because you can get it like a 2 terabyte one or I mean pretty much 2 terabytes because you can get a terabyte SD card and then you get a terabyte micro SD. Oh, not to mention SSD. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. SSD on the Steam Deck, so you immediately boot into it. Any games that you have on it, immediately boot. I mean, it's just amazing. Like I can't praise it enough. I mean, if you were like, I'm gonna put my whole rig on the go, I'm liquidating my computer, I'm getting rid of it, I wouldn't suggest that. It's not a PC replacement. It's a gaming it's a gaming supplement, but like if you had to change your whole PC out, I would not suggest it. If your workflow allows it, get a laptop, play some Steam games on there, get a gaming laptop. I mean, if your games like if you're going to get like in the middle of it and be like, oh, I'm going to want to do both, I would consider just getting one or the other, or getting both. Just have like a general purpose cheap Windows PC, and then a like Steam Deck for like I don't know like Dark Souls or something like that. But if you were gonna get like, I want both conveniently at the same time all the time on the go, switch like that, then yeah, just get a gaming PC. That's not even like a question of it, because like at that point like don't even bother with don't bother with Steam Deck if you already have a gaming PC because it is not smaller than like the Switch. It like see you see how this takes up my entire palm. Here is the Switch in comparison. It takes up my entire palm, but it can fit in my pocket if I dice it up. The Switch Lite is very small, so you can fit in your pocket. This motherfucker needs the case if you're gonna take it anywhere, and I suggest it because I have scuffed mine. It is a very small and like unnoticeable scuff, but I think you can notice it in the sunlight. Yeah, no you can't. But yeah, it's very, very minimal, but also like big fat case. It's a good beefy case too, because it's like a suitcase. It feels like sometimes. Like think of it. Not to mention, they give you a fat charger with it, and it's just totally worth it. 100% worth it. Even the cheapest version is still very much worth purchasing. 100%, if not 1,000%, when you have the use case for it. Which the use case would be going out or like showing a friend a game that you can't just like put on your Switch, or showing people shit that you know you can't do on other handhelds. I mean, like, there's ROG and all that stuff. So then if you care about 1080p, you care about the COD games, you care about multiplayer, you care about those sorts of like specific, like not oddly specific, because obviously more people like Call of Duty than they like Fallout, or they like Skyrim or something like that. So like obviously there's gonna be more people who are like, I want the ROG even though they have problems, and I'd rather have the ability to play PC games consistently with like Armory Crate and all that stuff. I mean, good on you. Good on you. 100%. If your library consists of COD, Call of Duty, Call of Duty 2, World at War, if your library consists of like specifically those types of games, you gotta be like kind of minded of what are you gonna play on it, because it's not gonna play everything, unfortunately, because as much as I'd like that, like there's some games like Starfield would be amazing on the Steam Deck if it ran well, because it doesn't run well on fucking anything you play it on, and it pisses me off because I know that game should run well, because No Man's Sky runs well on fucking everything. They put it on the fucking Switch, and that shit runs fine on the Steam Deck too. So my whole thing is like, why would you make a game run so shit? But like their whole thing is like, well, everything needs to be on SSD and everything needs to be like fucking take up so much space, and it makes you think like, yeah, I'm not gonna rant about Starfield. I'll see that for another video because it's really not worth it. 100% not worth it. Like ranting about it right now, like with that in mind. But if you're going to be playing single player games, if you're going to be playing indie games, if you're going to be playing emulated games, if you're going to be playing like very simple and easy, like quick and fun games, that's good too. Like Spelunky 1 and 2, great on there. Celeste, fucking Hollow Knight, fucking I was supposed to say Vowed. Vowed? What the fuck's a Vowed? What was I gonna say? But yeah, pretty much any game that's single player and indie, I would suggest it because they almost always completely work. Stuff like Super Hot works great, looks great, plays great. It just feels like the PS4 but like portable. Honestly, in a degree, because there are some games I wish that were like that would work like completely fine. Like for some reason, what was it? Was it Scrap Engineer or something like that? That doesn't work well. Scrap Mechanic does not work well on it because you need a keyboard. That too. Be in mind that it doesn't have a keyboard on it, so like you won't be playing like RTS games that require keyboard inputs unless you obviously like specifically make it do that way. I don't have any Diablo games, so I've never been able to like test it. Also, not to mention, all the Half-Life games work on there, except for Alex, obviously not, because it's a VR game, and you can't play VR games on a Steam Deck unless it's like, I've seen people do some weird shit with Alex. I've seen it, haven't played it, but I want to try, like, just normal Half-Life Alex, because, like, with, like, Pancake, which is what we call, like, that's what VR people call just, like, a normal game. Like taking a VR game and turning it into a normal flat screen game that you would play for first person and stuff like that. So I find it interesting that people got it to work that way. But also, yeah, pretty much every single Valve game works on there. I mean, from what I understand, Dota and CS, not to mention like the millions of emulators on there too. So it's like it literally has like almost unlimited games in comparison to like something. I mean, even the Vita has more game variety considering homebrew and all that stuff compared to the Switch, where it's just like mostly Nintendo games and mobile games that get ported. As frustrating as that is, because like this system is capable of a lot of stuff. It can do a lot of stuff. It can run all of 7th gen games wonderfully. It's just people just don't want to put them on there. They just refuse to. Honestly, Steam Deck is the reason why I got back into like handheld gaming, because I was kind of out of the Switch. Tears of the Kingdom got me to play on my Switch again. But yeah, if you really are strapped for like cash and you want to like have an easygoing handheld that isn't the Switch, we have to pay $60 every fucking game that is like halfway decent, the Steam Deck is your like best friend, because it's good budget gaming. Hell, I've seen them go on sale even cheaper than the Switch, just on like a couple more dollars more, a couple like $50 more, like $296, which is it's almost like $96. Well, it is exactly $96 more than the Switch Lite. Not to mention this thing docks. You can dock it. I mean, you can use like an iPad dock. You don't have to use a specific like $80 dock. You can literally use anything that goes from USB to like HDMI, but that you could use. Not to mention like hook it up to a capture card, capture gameplay from it. I don't know. I, for one, think if you're going to buy it, you have to know the use case. I've been on the thought process of like, if you buy something, you have to use it, and that's just it. You're not gonna buy it because I have money. I don't care. It's not a good way to live. I don't think it is. I, for one, use my Steam Deck semi-often if I want to play a quick game of Spelunky or like, hell, Elden Ring. Elden Ring is like a perfect example of like a single player game. You might lose something like you might lose multiplayer functionality, but the multiplayer functionality is so like it's just like a guy joins your game sometimes, and sometimes you read some notes on the floor, and that adds like a little bit to the game, but like it's not like Death Stranding where there's like bridges and fucking whole ass sections of the game that have been changed because of a player's input. Like it's not that bad. Like you don't lose a whole lot. You might lose some community stuff, but I'm not gonna cry over try finger butthole, but just how it is. I definitely think Steam Deck is a must-have if you're going to do like outside of the house gaming. You're going to a coffee shop, or you're going to go do something. I guess people would be like, oh, the PlayStation Portal would be perfect for that, but then again, no browser, no way to connect to stuff specifically when you need to use a password. I don't know. If they made a new PS Vita, it would probably kick the Steam Deck's ass. I've been of the opinion of that if they actually put the effort in and made a new Vita and focused it, like, if they had to focus it on streaming, they could do it. They could fucking do it, and then they would kick ass. Because what bothers me about the PS Portal, the PlayStation Portal, it doesn't do anything new. It just plays games that already exist, and that's it. That's all it does. It doesn't even stream the streamed games that you would want to play, that you pay extra money for with the tiers, which is ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. The PlayStation Portal, a streaming only device, does not stream the streamed games that you pay for. It streams the games you already own. It's frustrating. I don't own one for that exact reason, because it would be an amazing, and I mean literally amazing way to get into gaming, because it would be like what, $200 in comparison to $500 you have to put down for PlayStation 5, and then like what, the online streaming thing to play like PS3 and PS2 games. Why would you do that? Why would you do that at all? Why not just sell them independently? You buy them independently, sell them on packs if you have to. I don't know. It's very dumb. It's a very dumb and useless handheld for those who want a cheaper option. It doesn't offer a cheaper it offers an accessory for the PS5, which is an already $500 console. So it's like, it doesn't add anything. And then people are like, well, you can say that about the Steam Deck. It's like, you can stream games, but you could just play them on the damn thing, which people would prefer if they just did that. You could just play PS4 games on the go, which is possible, is literally possible. The battery life isn't great, obviously, not yet. We are like halfway there to having like great battery life. I bought a big fat battery, and it's kind of good. The Steam Deck gets around like 3 to 5 hours, give or take, depending on what game you play. If you're playing GameCube games, you're gonna get a lot of time. If you're playing like PS2 games, a lot of time. If you're playing fucking NES games, dude, you might as well be there all fucking day, because your shit is never gonna fucking die. Unless it's like Stardew Valley for some reason. That game just takes up a fuck ton of battery for no fucking reason. I have no fucking clue why. But it is the way it is.